And my biggest thing is what I was telling Riddell. Like the issue with Blue Lock that I personally don't like is that you don't see anybody train. They just try stuff and it works or it doesn't. Borrow is literally the only person that has an interaction where he's actually doing work, like outside of a match. So that I can understand, hey, that I can see a level of improvement. With Isagi's, I think he's broken. I think the rate that he is going, he shouldn't be on par with Rin, like at all.
Let's talk about some of our agendas. Let's do it. All right. Since we're talking about Blue Lock, I'm officially caught up. So now I'm on the train back to catch up. After Lonnie said, let's talk about Blue Lock for today's episode for Agenda Hour, I was like, all right, I guess this is the best time, if any. And it seems like it's closing regarding the current match between Isagi's team and Rin. How we feeling about this Blue Lock arc? How we feeling about Blue Lock right now?
Let Ty go first.
Wait, me? Why I gotta go first?
Because I want to see if we're on the same page on something.
I doubt it, but
how do I feel about? I'm enjoying it. I mean, see how I do Blue Lock is that I don't really like reading weekly, so I like less things stack up. So I am caught up, but I think I'm gonna let this match finish. I do like the introduction of Ikaguri because I had a feeling like because his introduction, he's gonna probably have something to do with the final goal. I think it's pretty cool. I love Kaiser's transformation. I love Ren's. I've heard people complain about Isagi like being OP, even though I don't think he's OP per se.
I think
OP?
Not OP.
I think he's
relative to most of his peers. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I'm like, at least
I think his growth is OP. That's how I would phrase it.
The rate at which he gets better is crazy.
Yes.
It is kind of ridiculous.
He himself is not OP, but if he keeps on growing at this rate, he's going to become ridiculous.
I guess my question would be, where is he at and where did he get to? And do we think that some of the other characters grew far slower? Like, where was he at? And then where did he get to and how fast did he get to it where he was like, this was fast?
Compared to his growth compared to everyone else's is, I think, a lot bigger in terms of like how fast he's growing compared to everyone else. Like not everyone is evolving, but he's definitely evolving faster than everybody else.
Maz, you about to say something?
I was gonna say I'm not caught up, but a moment that was glaring to me, I believe it was established like Kaiser and them had kind of been playing almost semi-professionally for a long time. I feel him overcoming that gap as fast as he did and like surpassing that dude, even though they're clearly going back and forth, I find that to be kind of wild.
Yeah.
His peers and his classmates going through the same thing is one thing, right? I can see, Ren or Barrow being maybe a step ahead, and they go back and forth. But it's established that guy was like way above them to me. He was on the same level as what? Say, yeah.
Yeah, because he's a part of the generations. So like the fact that he overcame Kaiser that quickly.
Well, I think they would.
See,
I don't know if he's on this. I don't know if Kaiser's on Sei's level. I don't.
Well, he's supposed to be one of those generational.
Like, not as good as Sei, but like in the same tier.
I guess do y'all think that also on that level?
People.
Ty, you're lagging a lot.
What the hell was that?
You're robot.
Say that one more time, Ty.
You bet.
I'll even come back on a second.
All right.
So I always thought
Brandon,
that. Yeah, I always thought that Kaiser. If we're talking about he's the worst of them. That's how I've always looked at him.
Right. Like,
so I don't think if we're trying to compare him to the rest of them, I think there's I'm not saying it's a massive gap, but it's noticeable between him and the rest of them.
Well,
that's fair, but it's like saying he's the worst Hashira. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Also, isn't Lorenzo
at a different level? And that's the thing. Whereas like Santo, I'm sure, has a lot to say. So Santo, you can come up because I know we were talking about this a little bit. My thing is, I don't understand how Isagi became as good as he did. Like, I understand the story and what it's telling me, but the progression of how fast he's getting there and the lack of seeing him, especially like train for it, and especially since they presented Isagi, for me at the very least, in the beginning of the series as more of like a average dude for like the blue lock standards, to the point where he's like, oh, I don't have this special experience, I don't have these special abilities. Obviously he's a dog, of course we're gonna give him his respect, but to see him go do what he did, for me, going and surpassing Rin, quote unquote, and then catching up to Kaiser, about to surpass Kaiser to the point. I know, Miles, you're not caught up, but Kaiser had to do a whole backstory in the middle of the match because he was getting his ass beat.
Oh
That's how bad he was getting.
Mhm.
So to see Isagi get to that point, I'm like, bro, he's like the best player on the field right now. And we got Rin and Kaiser here. I'm like, I just don't know how he got here.
Well, I would say Ren's still the best, but here's my thing. I guess this is how I see it, right? One, I don't think he was ever really presented as an average blue locker because he was a standout in blue lock the entire time. I don't know if we agree or disagree, but I think that throughout their time in blue lock, the first 3 selections, would y'all think he was one of the standouts?
No. In the beginning, he was ranked towards the bottom.
No, remember.
No, I'm saying like I'm saying throughout their track, because also they said the ranking system was like to throw people off. That was one thing.
Yeah,
but
because
They did say that.
I was gonna say Ego said that like he put everyone in different sections and he told everyone that they were all at the bottom.
yeah, that, and then also I'm just saying through the first 3 selections, he was one of the stars in the 3 selections. That's why he was chosen for the team for U20. Like he had to be one of the best players there through blue lock. So I don't think he was ever presented as average if he was selected for U20. He was always one of the standouts through 3 selections. That's why I don't really see him as average. And also, if I think about, like, for example, him and Borrow, as far as value-wise, are equal right now. And he surpassed Borrow during those other selections. And then him and Borrow are still equal as far as value before this final match. So that means that Borrow has also grown just as much as Isagi if Isagi surpassed him a couple of times already. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really... I guess I'm thinking, like, there are other characters that grow just as fast. You know, if you think he goes fast, and Barr's one of the examples, because then they're tied in value. When Isagi already surpassed Barr before, and now Barr is tied with him again. Like,
quick question, Santo. Would you feel differently if we spent more time with a different character? Like, if we saw every time we see Barrow catches up, but we don't feel that way because we don't see what Barrow's doing in between every time we run into him. Because Barrow has gotten great. Sure, we've seen him really down, but the fact that he's keeping up with how crazy we feel Isagi is getting. Now, I'm a couple chapters back as well, but I've always felt like every time I see Barrow catches up, and we're never like, yo, Barrow's growth is crazy. We're saying Isagi's growth is crazy. Should we be saying that for Barrow also?
My biggest thing, and my biggest thing is what I was telling Riddell. Like the issue with Blue Lock that I personally don't like is that you don't see anybody train. They just try stuff and it works or doesn't. Barrow is literally the only person that has an interaction where he's actually doing work, like outside of a match. So that I can understand, you know, hey, that I can see a level of improvement. With Isagi's, I think he's broken. I think the rate that the rate that he is going, he shouldn't be on par with Rin, like at all.
Why?
Because Rin was established to being this OP character already. I think from the introduction of Isagi, when everybody was meeting in that first scene, everybody in Blue Lock, you saw a distinction between the other characters and Isagi, where even Isagi admitted like he's not on par. To now that he's pretty much embarrassing Rin and Kaiser, like it's crazy.
But yeah, was that from like a physical standpoint, not like his IQ? Like his IQ, like so he doesn't have the physical to everyone else, but his IQs will help some keep up essentially.
Yeah, so that was the main thing holding him back because he's shorter than everybody. He doesn't have as long as legs or arms and things like that, and he can't move as fast. But yeah, he always had like a adept mind. But I think it's the fact. So I think when we see other characters in Blue Lock, we see like when they grow and evolve in a match, it's like a one-time progression. When we see Isagi, it's like steps. Like he evolves a little bit, and then the next sequence when they evolve, he evolves again, and then he evolves again. Like he'll evolve like 3 or 4 times in a match.
And let me just pinball off you, Lonnie. And I think the problem with that is, for me personally at least, I never get to see Isagi, and I guess it's just the way that this whole thing is designed. I never get to see like a real hard failure. It may be like a momentary failure, but he's usually the one evolving, and these other people are evolving because this anomaly in Isagi is the one crushing them. You get what I'm saying? It would make sense to me for Baro to evolve when this anomaly came out of nowhere and met him one time and surpassed him in that one engagement. Yeah, it would push him, but I don't feel like there's anything really pushing Isagi other than him seeing a person and just saying, "Oh, I got to be better than him."
And
You know
to
what I'm saying?
And to
Like, if
piggyback
he
off
failure,
of that,
he doesn't.
and to piggyback off of that, like to see other characters evolve, like a Baro, like a Kaiser, like Rin, they have to be completely broken down to take that step. Isagi just has to miss a ball, and he's like, "Okay, time to level up 30 levels." Like I just, it's
No, go ahead,
it's
go
OP.
ahead.
No, I just think it's OP because of that. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't necessarily.
you see him never shoot with his left foot. He just tries it once, and it's just on par like his right foot. I'm like,
Man did a mid-air
I
fake
thought
with
that-
my
I
right,
could've-
hit it with my
that's
left
probably
ball
counted. I could have sworn
because
that
he
was
tried
something
it, bro.
that,
Like,
he was
I
already.
also, I do want to add this too, Ty, for me at the very least. I feel like if they presented Isagi as this type of genius, like right from the get-go, because, and I'm talking about IQ now, because we know physically he's not on par with Rin, he's not on par with a lot of people. But you mentioned IQ. Well, based on my interpretation, Rin and Kaiser also have advanced IQ as well. So they have the skill, the body type, and the IQ. But Asagi just like double trumps their IQ. I'm like,
Oh,
wow, I don't get how he just.
It's not. It might have. It's IQ and his spatial awareness. So like his vision and his IQ kind of necessarily disagree with you guys are saying, because if I think back, here's kind of how I look at losses in Blue Lock, right? So as far as like the games he's lost, he hasn't really lost a game since the third selection, I think, when he lost to Ren. But you think about that game, the reason they lost because of luck. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I guess the gap between Isagi and Ren, it wasn't as massive to me. If the reason that they won that game specifically was close, and then luck came into play, and then Isagi used luck in the next game. To me, it's like if they had like swept Isagi's team, like absolutely annihilated them, and then it was like, okay, I just got it. Then he came in and then he just trumped the next game. I was like, okay, but it was a close game and it came down to luck. And then so I don't know if they were as far apart as maybe we're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I don't really see it that way. And I think also a lot of the losses may not be like games, but like when Kyrie balls and scores a goal, that's Isagi technically losing. Like even if it's not a crushing defeat, or if it's maybe if you want to say defeats need to be harder. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but that's his type of loss. I think he loses a game. If someone's supposed to go over him, that's a loss. When Baro bests him and he shoots between his legs, that's a loss to Isagi. And that's, to me, even if especially against a character like a Baro, like he's like losing a Baro bothers him more than anything. So I guess being broken down is like losing to like a Baro, for example.
Ty, because when we first meet Kaiser, like we realized that like one, he's supposed to be a level above everybody, but he also has that like meta vision, like things like that like Isagi then learned from him. But we also know that like Kaiser physically is supposed to be way better than him, way stronger, way faster, everything like that. So
training longer too.
Yeah. So do you think that it's weird? And I think he's a few years older. So do you think it's weird that like Isagi now are caught up to him with less physical ability? But he like learned he learned the technique from Kaiser, and then somehow not only with being less physically gifted, and then not only like caught up to him in like a match or two, like a match and a half, but then also ended up surpassing and crushing him. To me, like I love Isagi, I love his personality, I love his character, but to me that was weird. It's like, yo, this Kaiser's supposed to be that next level that you're supposed to be trying to reach at, and he's supposed to be better than you overall in everything. He's supposed to be like better version of Isagi, basically. And Isagi just in a match toppled him. So to me that was weird. And also, side note with Kaiser, him getting over his like worst trauma in like the span of 2 minutes after getting crushed was wild to me. Dude relived his whole beating of his whole dad beating the crap out of him his whole life in the span of like 30 seconds and then overcame it. No amount of therapy could do that. That's like some I don't know. That was wild to me. It's like, yo, you just overcame your worst trauma mid match and then like ended up scoring like 2 minutes later. That made no sense to me. Logically.
Fair enough. And Deco, you're saying that his thing is adaptability. Just because we know what it is doesn't make it okay. I will say at the very least, when it comes to Isagi, I think if they set Isagi up right from the beginning as this genius level of adapter, give him like a backstory on like how he's able to adapt to different situations so well, and that there's just few things in soccer that he's just lacking, like the physical tools, but his adaptability is there. I feel like if they set that up right from the beginning, I'm willing to buy it more. Like Borrow, they set up that he's like a beast, but he has terrible issues with working with other people. Like it's absolutely it makes his games not as good as it should be. So he has to get over that. I feel like if they set up Isagi as this adaptability, I mean, he says it himself. He's the genius of adaptability. He said this in the manga. If they would have made that very clear from the beginning, then I'll be like, here, now I'm with you. Now I understand that you're a genius just like everybody else, but you have the best genius level of ability.
But don't we see that? Okay, I guess my thing is like, I think another thing that him is he's probably one of the most willing. He's one of the most people. He's one person that's most willing to learn from other people than probably everybody else. Like the fact that he loses to Ren, it's like, yo, Ren, how'd you do that? Like he immediately asks Ren to get information. I think that he takes more from his surroundings from other characters than everybody else. I think that probably the person that does that after him might be Borrow, and that's probably why their growth is very linear and close together. And I think that also, I think his adaptability, his metavision, I think was set up really well. But also, I think his adaptability is I don't know if maybe you want to say to this degree, but I feel like when he's asking questions and learning from other people, like for example, he loses the Borrow and immediately goes to ask Borrow, like he's shooting practice to figure out how I can improve myself. So I think that he's always taking initiative to learn and improve more than other people are. Like individual training can only take so far. He's looking at these other players, taking piece of their game to incorporate into his, and that's why he's able to improve.
But then that goes into Santo's point. We need to see it. Well, I'll let you, Santo, go.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
I have something else.
Well, I'll say this goes into Santo's point. If that's going to be the case, because I know the questions, and I still think the backstory would help. But even if we're going there with the question stuff, that's when we got to see you train those new techniques much more and refine them. Not, oh, I'm in a match and I remember Nagi's move and I'm going to try to match for the first time and I'm going to score a goal. Like, what? You just did what Nagi did? That's what he said.
Of like,
he said he just tried it and then he made the goal.
No, I said that?
No, he said that. Isagi.
Oh, I thought you said I said that. I was
No.
I think so. I agree with Radell's point regarding if he was established as this intellectual genius type thing. Because I asked Radell on the Discord today, what's the difference between Isagi and Nico? Because they pretty much have the same abilities. But they established Nico as being this using players like in chess, like a strategist type thing, using his intellect more than his physical abilities. And to see him develop getting metavision and all of that, you understand Isagi was just when he came into Blue Lock, they kind of implied it like he was mid compared to everybody. To now seeing him overcome Rin, Kaiser, Borrow, not only on an intellectual level but also a physical level, that's broken.
So someone's saying that they already call him a genius of adaptability in second selection. I don't know if that's true, but also like, is he overcoming them physically?
Well, do you think there should be a time? Well, maybe because you don't think there's a gap between Isagi and Rin. So I guess this question doesn't really matter to you. But I mean, even in situations where Isagi has so much control of the situation where he can keep Rin at bay and even dribble past Rin, like Isagi, based off how they set up, was not that good at dribbling. But now he's at this point where it's like Rin can't do nothing to him. Then I think that's what I think Santo means by physical. That these opportunities of him just outmatching these geniuses in these different soccer skills. Also, that shot he did against freaking Kaiser and Rin was ridiculous, and he just tried it. It was ridiculous.
The twin pistol thing. By the way, that
I'm like, bro, and he's acting like he can do it like again. I'm like, bro, this is broken. This is a broken move.
I must say, but I know he had he was always good with his left leg though, so that kind of makes sense. Like we saw him do lefty shots, so like him being ambidextrous and use both his legs to hit a goal actually makes sense.
But wasn't he surprised when he used it the first time?
No, I'm more so just talking about the idea of if he's different. I'd be more with y'all if his left leg was trash. He's like, let me just try this. But the fact that we know he's good with both his feet, and he tried it at proficient in both.
Your internet is so cooked today.
You're sounding like R2D2 right now, bro.
This is crazy, man.
The lag is crazy. I'm fine with Isagi using both his legs, but him in midair doing what Nagi does, where he does like the midair acrobatics, and Isagi did that his first time trying it, where he faked it with his right leg, making Rin and Kaiser think he was about to hit it with his right leg, and then he did it left in midair. Isagi, since when? Since when? Like, come on!
Like he's dribbling and he's looking like Bachira out there. Like, what? How? Just how?
All right. Yes, that's my issue, Deco. I think Isagi's evolving way too quickly, in my opinion.
I think there's
this is what I was before I left. I was more so saying that if you want to say that him doing it over two people is where you draw the line, fine. I'm also saying that him having the ability to do the move is not speed. That's more so that's what I was saying.
I'm gonna need you to say that one more time, Ty.
We will pray for Ty's internet today, man. This will work out. I'll figure itself out.
Ty, you are underwater right now.
Wait, is it fine now, or is it still?
Nah, it's
No,
bad.
nigga.
Lagging.
It is deep fried. It is
It's bad, bro.
it's bad.
I don't know, man.
You good right
Maybe
now?
get a
You good
hotspot
right
or
now.
something, bro.
Oh, you know what it is? I think my
Blaming the mic is crazy.
Last thing regarding
You're muted.
we move to a different
You
topic.
muted. There you go.
wait, is it fine now?
Yeah, you're good now.
There you go.
We'll
Yes,
see
I think
how
my
it
mic was
plays.
fully plugged in.
Oh, I didn't read the latest chapter that just dropped. Is the match over yet, or?
Nah.
I didn't even know there's a latest chapter, so no.
Okay.
I have no idea. But I did want to bring up one more thing before we move on from Blue Lock. Bro, Blue Lock be chatting sometimes. Like, they just be chatting. When they said, I am going to peak performance times peak performance times peak performance equals chemical triflow solution, I'm like, bro, what are we talking about? This is not like, hey man, I respect him just making up terms to explain soccer, but we get it kind of crazy.
My
We
boy
gotta-
said chemical
Wait, I have a question.
gotta
Is my mic good now? Is it good now? or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. Let me just say this. 'Cause I've been trying to say this for the longest. The fact that Isagi, if you want to say that him doing it over Rin and Kaiser is a problem, maybe. I'm saying the fact that we know he's good with both his feet makes sense. Like having the ability to do the move. I don't think it's far fetched. Now, if you want to say he did over two people that are better than him, maybe. But
Before J-Rob goes, but to
Twitter,
Riddell's-
I heard Blue Lock talk. You feel me?
yeah, before J-Rob goes, to Riddell's point about the whole chemical reaction shit,
show people the panel.
like, yeah, to his point about the chemical reaction, like I think about Kuroko no Basket, if they did some like the zone within the zone or the inner zone or some shit, if they did some shit like that, that's kind of what's happening right now with the whole.
I ain't gonna they saying Isagi fraudulent, man.
Nah, man. No, this is like when the one dude in Crocodile Basket gave everybody else the zone. I said, all right, bro. Now everybody on the team in the zone, they all got a foe zone. That's where I was like, all right,
that
bro.
was a little crazy.
Like, we don't have to cap this much.
They looking
I
at
already
Isagi-
allowed the guy who's basically basketball Isagi when he was doing his own little Kobe impression. All right. And now we got this dude just handing out the zone like it's candy out here. When you told us when somebody's in the zone, they've hit the top. But now this dude just handing it out. That's his power.
Can I
That
get
made
some-
sense to me though.
Can I get some context?
Miles,
Can I
I'm
get
with
some
you.
context?
I was say they are talking about Isagi's rate of growth being a bit absurd. They're looking at his value. They're looking
Rate
at
of
like
growth.
a fake dollar bill. They put in the light. They're like, is this real? I don't know, man.
Y'all not rocking with
My
Isagi's rate of growth?
instigating a little bit.
I'm rocking with Isagi. I think his
That nigga-
evolution is a little fast.
How?
Oh, I think
So,
it's very fast.
for instance, with Kaiser's supposed to be like a low-key a better version of Isagi, right? With better physical specs and things like that.
Mhm.
So the fact that Isagi was able to learn Metavision, because for all we know, Kaiser's been using Metavision for a while, because he's also older than Isagi. So he basically a match, he learned Metavision and then surpassed him, and then like crushed him. So
Well,
it's
technically,
like,
he's always had metavision. He just didn't know what to call it. They thought it was adaptability.
Oh yeah, wasn't he use it as a kid?
Do you remember the first thing they said to him was like, when they were trying to figure out everybody on this team's ability, like the first few episodes, they
yeah, no, he was like, I
they
feel
said
like
they said his ability was to smell.
yeah, I feel like he knew like aspects of Metavision, but like putting it all together, like when he realized what Kaiser was doing, and like he helped Kaiser, like him watching Kaiser helped him put it all together, and then eventually it's just like, oh, now I'm better than. Then it's like, oh, now I'm better than Kaiser. I love Asagi. He's like, I think he's still my favorite character in Blue Lock, but I think his growth is kind of crazy right now. I don't think he should be on par with Rin and Kaiser at this point.
But the thing is, I find that my issue with like this thing about his rate of growth is that Isagi, if we're talking about his rate of growth, you're talking strictly about his use of Metavision, right?
No,
because we can't be talking about his physical traits because
no.
I mean,
so
even in the Neo Egoist League, even in the Neo Egoist League, do you remember when what's his name? Noel, when Noel decided to join the match with him, he literally joined the match and saved Isagi because Isagi literally said, I'm not talented enough yet to be able to actually manifest the goals that are coming up in my head because I don't have the physical tools. He even said in the chapter that I wish I can go practice right now mid-match. So I don't think his rate of growth is too fast because I still think he's been very much limited by the issues that he has physically. Even with his ability to shoot with 2 feet, it's not like he's ambidextrous. He just has a direct shot with his other foot. He even when he spoke to Kunigami about it, I mean, Kunigami said, like, you cannot be like me. My body was damn near like Noah's. That's why I was able to become ambidextrous. But for Isagi, they compared his to like having a sword in one hand and then having a dagger as a secondary weapon in the other hand. So I don't think he's shown that his rate of growth compared to the rest of his counterparts is like he's well above, because most of his counterparts are still way more physically gifted than he is right now. He's just better than them mentally. That's what gives him the edge.
So I'll say this like real quick, and then because Riddell's the main one with this point with Asagi's growth. So I'll just say this. My main issue with Asagi's growth is like when we see people evolving in a match, we see them evolve like once. He'll have like 3-4 evolutions in a match, and I'm just like, bruh. That's my biggest gripe with this. Like I love Asagi.
Give me an example.
The match before, was it the match before? Where like we saw like Baro overcame something, and then like Asagi's like, oh, I need to add this to my game. I need to add this to my game. I need to take this step, and then eventually they ended up winning. So it's like, and then right now it's like he added the double shot move, and then he's like, oh,
he practiced that though.
Yeah, but then he's also like, yo, I need to add the triple flow, whatever. And then it's like now he's like, oh, now I need to take in the other ego, yada yada. So it's like
so what do you want him to do? Not think? Like that's his ability.
No, all I'm saying is like it's just like he takes like everyone else
thinking the game.
Yeah, everyone else takes like one step of evolution.
Okay, so then tell me this. So let me
4.
tell you this. Was it his growth that made him pass the ball to crying ass Yumi Kanaya to finish the goal because he couldn't get the goal at the end because he wasn't he wouldn't have had a shot pass because of Kaiser, so he had to assist bro with the glasses. That's his lack of talent.
evolution.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he very much lacks talent. And I don't know. I missed what Riddell said, but Riddell, if we're talking about growth and fake growth, so dudes can trap the ball 4 times to make goals, and that's growth though, or is that plot armor?
You talking about Nagi?
Nagi.
No, I mean
Nagi. That was fake. That was fake.
No, that's fine.
I mean, but half of the stuff in this show is fake. I mean, let's just
but
keep it a bean.
Yo, let's talk about that
I
last goal. That last goal fake.
Riddell, I have a question for you.
Nagi's an established genius, though.
But I mean, Ronaldo's not doing that double shot from Isagi. I'm sorry.
Maybe this is how I view it. Do you think
pull up that panel because I want to bring that conversation?
That boy Ren got crashed into, made the goal half feet in the air. Come on,
wait, J Rob. I have a question for you, J Rob. Do you how far apart do you think Ren and Isagi were at the beginning? Because like I don't think that there was like this massive gap from overall as an overall player, because when they first played each other, Ren they won because of luck. Like I don't think there was this massive gap. And as an overall player, that when he surpasses him, it's like unreasonable.
Yeah, I don't think there was a massive gap either. I think the thing that disconnected Isagi from most of his counterparts were things that God gives you, physical talent. Like I think that's always been the thing when it's come to him. I mean, that's literally what they've always talked about surrounding Isagi. It's not his inability to think the game; it's what he lacks in stature, physique, speed, dribbling. All of those things have been his Achilles heel as he's tried to develop in the show, in my opinion, from what I've read. Shit.
Fair enough. I do want to bring this up because I already said what I said earlier. But this shit makes no sense. Top performance times top performance times top performance equals tri-flow chemistry reaction.
Let me explain that. Let me explain that. Let me explain that.
Let me hear the math equation right now.
Let me explain that shit, bro. First of all, y'all don't understand the Isagi-nomics. Y'all don't understand the Isagi-nomics. The Isagi-nomics be really cooking. Y'all don't understand, bro. Y'all don't understand what he's doing. It's puzzle pieces. Top performance x top performance x top performance means he is taking into account the best versions of 3 different people and putting it in his formula to get the best outcome from the game. Cool. So, for example, if we playing basketball, I'm gonna put this in a fast break mode. You feel me? It's me on the break on the point guard. I got my big man Miles, I got my shooter Ty, and then I got my slasher Lonnie. I got all of y'all playing at the highest possible capacity. Lonnie, you dunking on everybody.
Makes sense.
Ty, you 4-4 from the field right now. You on fire, top performance. You know what I'm saying? Then we go to Miles, glass cleaning, lob threat, going crazy. I have all of that at my disposal. So now I'm going to use that information to create a chemical reaction. Isagi-nomics, you feel me?
Isagi-nomics.
It makes perfect sense.
Isagi-nomics, bro. Like he just take into account of what everybody's doing out there, and then he's gonna react to it. For example, if I know Riddell, you shooting the crap out of the ball, you done hit 8 threes today. That next fast break, I know you not passing it. I know it's a fast break 3. That's the Isagi-nomics though, because I'm expecting that. So when that shit clank front iron, I'm going to know to be the first one to get the rebound because I knew you was going to miss because I believed in your top performance. I believed that he's going to shoot because he already hit 8 of them. You understand? Like that's how that brother think. It's really respect for his teammates and his opponents because he knows. You feel me? Isagi-nomics, you gotta get into the Isagi-nomics, bro.
Also, he might not literally be saying it. That could just be a narration for us. Like he might be the top performance,
I guarantee he's saying that.
He stood on it.
But I have a question, y'all. Does it make sense though? It makes sense.
It makes sense to me. Shit.
It makes sense, but he's making up terminologies left and right, bro.
What?
You just gotta go like
the worst term he came up was when he said he got metadata That was crazy. When he said,
Yeah.
In the middle of a soccer match,
Boy,
I got
Isagi,
metadata.
Isagi is a nerd.
he said
bro.
that I get metadata.
He is a nerd.
I'm gonna go up to Messi.
I look past it though. I look past it though.
I'm gonna go up to Messi and go like, bro, have you ever did a tri-flow chemistry reaction in a game? I wonder, bro, bro.
You got it.
I did want to ask J-Rob, what did you think about Kaiser overcoming his biggest childhood trauma in the span of like 30 seconds in mid-match?
I ain't gonna lie, I was down for it because honestly, for a while, I needed Isagi. I mean, for Kaiser to have such a tragic backstory, it actually made me rock with him more.
No, I rock with Kaiser. I'm just saying,
I'm kind of
like,
actually
think about
happy he got.
realistically.
I'm actually
Your
happy
dad-
he got abused as a kid. To be honest,
I'm just saying, think about realistically. Your dad beat you for years. Your
wait.
dad
I didn't mean it like that. Whoa. Time out. I
Good
didn't
on.
mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I just mean like I didn't mean it like that. Hold on. It just I didn't know his background as a character, so he just seemed like a hyena ass. You feel me? Like hyena ass nigga. Like it just seemed like he was eating the scraps, vulture ass nigga. But seeing where he came from, it made more sense the way why he acted. It just gave me context I needed. My bad, and it made him more human. Damn,
No, I get that,
bad.
but
That
J-Rob,
sounded
just think
horrible.
about this.
Sorry.
Like your dad was beating you for years and years and years. You missed 2 goals. I'm over it. Let's lock in. What?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all be acting like manga not gonna manga, bro.
Yeah, like come on, this shit all dramatic. It's all dramatic.
I'm just
Bro,
saying, like,
bro.
Lonnie,
his dad beating him his whole life. He misses
To
2
be
goals.
fair,
Why do we
to be
act
fair,
like
though.
characters don't be in mid battle and the backstory of their trauma?
Come
and they
on,
over,
like
come
stop,
on, bro.
like stop,
Bro.
bro.
Yeah,
yo,
that is true.
Nah,
That's
right,
true.
yo,
That is
Lonnie,
true.
Lonnie,
That was
Lonnie.
like a
Like
span of like
niggas
5
have a
minutes.
full 20-minute episode flashback, Lonnie, mid fight, mid football match. Come on, gang. This is
Yo, Random was staring into the abyss of
Good Night Poon Poon. I know they doing that. Whatever that you watching. I know you watching one of them shits.
Nah, I'm doing something else. But no, this is between you, Riddell, and J Rob. I'm staying out of it.
I mean, I already said we ain't even arguing right
Did
now.
y'all talk about the trailer yet, though?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
did.
we did.
Yeah.
Where's my Where's my? Where my?
You about to crash out, bro.
Oh, I'm having the animators. Because what I'm seeing right now out of that trailer, God.
That shit
You
was
mean that
good.
slideshow? Don't call it a trailer. Call it a slideshow.
My dog
Flash.
just pissed me off. Knocked my headphones out. Can y'all hear me still?
That was a PowerPoint.
Yeah, we can still hear
Y'all
you,
still
bro.
hear me or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Yo,
Yeah,
my
no, that was a
dog-
You about to
PowerPoint.
say
That
something
wasn't no
wild about
trailer.
them animators too.
Yeah, them
Did you see-
animators, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to be manga only when it comes to Blue Lock. Because if that's what I'm getting, bro, I'm not about to piss myself off.
Yeah.
J-Rob, did you watch
It's,
the
it's,
movie?
it's looking like Promised Neverland season 2.
It's bad. Did you watch the movie,
Yeah.
J-Rob?
Nah, I didn't even watch the movie yet.
Don't
They
watch
said it was bad.
Don't
Yeah, I'm
watch
not going. I'm not about to be pissed off by what I think is one of the best shows. So I'm going to straight up just rock with this this manga, and I'm not going to be pissed off. They're not going to piss me off with this shit. Because that
The
trailer
movie-
looked god awful, y'all. God
It
awful.
looks bad.
The movie
It
is
is
just
trash.
just a quick recap. The movie is just a lot of reused scenes from the series, just with a little more sparkle, I guess. The animation's not great, and a lot of inner dialogue from Nagi. That's it.
Oh man, let's get
I saw the movie. I saw one of the scenes like they move like they're robots. It's like
yes,
It's
bro.
weird.
like they're using still
They move-
frames and then just having their mouth move. I was like, they're
They
not
move-
like talking with
moving
their
like
body.
Ty.
They
right now.
move just like Ty's internet service right now.
Hey man,
Yo, Ty been fighting the internet right
On the
now. I
same
don't
point
know,
with that
He
man.
was lagging.
Lagging.